The cleaner's son uncovered a hidden secret, and when their plan worked, the truth shocked everyone. In a hospital filled with untold stories, Anna, a widowed mother, struggles to support her son, Ethan. When Ethan discovers something suspicious about a mysterious patient, their lives change forever. Amid financial challenges, harassment, and secrets from the past, Anna must find the strength to protect her son and uncover the truth. Anna's life was not easy. Widowed for 2 years, she fought daily to support her young son, Ethan, while working as a cleaner in a large hospital. Anna was a woman of strong character, determined to provide a better life for her son, even if it meant sacrificing her own dreams and hopes. Living in a small and modest apartment, Anna faced constant financial challenges. The rent was high, and the bills seemed never-ending. The apartment's landlord, Mr. Morgan, a middle-aged man with considerable wealth, was infatuated with Anna and constantly tried to make advances on her. However, Anna always rejected his overtures, maintaining her integrity and self-respect. The hospital where Anna worked was a microcosm of dramas and hopes. Ethan, too young to attend school, accompanied his mother every day. While Anna cleaned the rooms, Ethan became familiar with the patients and staff, forming unexpected bonds with those he encountered. Among corridors and waiting rooms, the curious boy was fascinated by stories of lives so different from his own. Mr. Phillips was one of those patients. A wealthy man seemingly on the brink of death, but something about his behavior seemed strange to Ethan, who had a keen intuition for his age. On a particular day, while playing in the corridor, Ethan observed Mr. Phillips acting suspiciously, as if he were pretending to be sick to deceive someone. Anna, concerned about her son's well-being and the security of her job, always advised Ethan not to get involved in patients' affairs. However, Ethan's curiosity was piqued, and he began to pay more attention to Mr. Phillips' behavior. That night, while Anna prepared dinner in their modest apartment, she noticed Ethan was quieter than usual. His eyes sparkled with a mix of worry and determination. When Anna asked what was wrong, Ethan hesitated for a moment before telling his mother what he had seen at the hospital. Exhausted and struggling to balance her responsibilities, Anna initially dismissed Ethan's observations. However, something in her son's seriousness made her reconsider. She decided to pay more attention to Mr. Phillips the next day, determined to protect her son and perhaps discover the truth behind the patient's strange behavior. The routine at the hospital continued, but now Anna was more vigilant. She watched Mr. Phillips closely, trying to juggle her work with the new mystery unfolding in her life. Between cleaning rooms and caring for Ethan, Anna began to notice small inconsistencies in Mr. Phillips' condition, confirming her son's suspicions. Meanwhile, Mr. Morgan, frustrated with Anna's constant rejections, began to pressure her more, suggesting he could help with her financial difficulties if she accepted his proposals. However, Anna remained firm, refusing any help that came with such a high price. On a rainy night, as Anna and Ethan were about to sleep, Ethan had an idea. He remembered an episode from his favorite TV show where a character used a simple trick to expose a lie. Inspired, he proposed a plan to his mother: hide a pin in Mr. Phillips' bed to test if he was really sick. Anna, though reluctant, agreed to help Ethan carry out the plan, hoping it would bring some clarity to the situation. The next day was a whirlwind of emotions. Nervous about the plan, Anna tried to stay calm while doing her tasks. Ethan, on the other hand, was eager to see the result of his idea. At the end of the day, when Anna went to change Mr. Phillips' sheets, she discreetly hid a pin under the sheets, hoping it wouldn't cause bigger problems for her or her son. The tension was palpable. As Anna and Ethan anxiously awaited the arrival of Mr. Phillips' wife and the notary with the will, the fate of everyone in the hospital was about to change drastically. Anna couldn't shake off the nervousness gripping her chest. She continued with her tasks, but her mind was constantly on the plan and its possible consequences. Ethan, however, kept a constant vigil, watching Mr. Phillips' every move and waiting for the decisive moment. The tension in the hospital increased every day. Anna continued watching Mr. Phillips, hoping the pin would reveal some truth. Ethan, anxious to see the plan in action, could hardly focus on anything else. The atmosphere was charged with expectation. One day, while cleaning the corridor, Anna heard murmurs coming from Mr. Phillips' room. Approaching discreetly, she realized he was talking on the phone. The slightly ajar door allowed Anna to hear parts of the conversation. "I know, dear, but we need to continue with the plan. She suspects nothing." Mr. Phillips' voice was low and determined. "The notary will be here soon. The will be altered in our favor, and no one will know." Anna froze. Her and Ethan's suspicions were correct. Mr. Phillips was faking his illness to deceive his wife and ensure the will was modified in his favor. The revelation made her heart race. She knew she had to do something but was worried about the consequences for her and her son. That night, Anna could barely sleep. The image of Mr. Phillips and his phone conversation haunted her. She thought about alerting the hospital administration but feared they wouldn't believe her and that it could result in her dismissal. She decided the only option was to continue with Ethan's plan and hope the pin would expose the truth. The next day, as Anna changed Mr. Phillips' sheets, she felt a twinge of nervousness. The pin was still there, hidden under the sheets. She adjusted the sheet to ensure the pin would be noticed when he lay down. Ethan, meanwhile, watched from afar, waiting for the decisive moment. Later, Mr. Phillips' wife arrived at the hospital with the notary. Anna, feeling a mix of fear and determination, watched as they entered the room. She knew this would be the crucial moment. If Mr. Phillips was indeed faking, the pin would make him react. The tension was almost unbearable. Anna continued with her work, but her mind was in Mr. Phillips' room. Suddenly, a muffled scream came from the room. Anna ran to see what had happened. Mr. Phillips was sitting on the bed, a look of pain and surprise on his face. He was pulling the pin from his hand while his wife and the notary looked perplexed. Anna realized it was now or never. "What's going on here?" his wife asked, concerned. Anna decided to intervene. "I'm sorry, but there's something you need to know," she began, her voice trembling slightly. "I've been observing Mr. Phillips, and I believe he's faking his illness to manipulate the will." The room fell silent. The notary looked at Anna skeptically, but Mr. Phillips' wife seemed to consider her words. Anna continued, explaining what she and Ethan had seen and heard. "This is ridiculous," Mr. Phillips exclaimed, trying to regain his composure. "This woman is lying." But the seed of doubt was already planted. Mr. Phillips' wife, now with an expression of distrust, demanded an explanation. The notary suggested the situation be investigated further before any changes to the will. The first twist was in motion. Anna's determination and Ethan's curiosity had begun to unravel Mr. Phillips' plan. However, the consequences for Anna and Ethan were still uncertain. Anna knew her job was at risk, but she was determined to protect her son and reveal the truth. As the investigation proceeded, the pressure on Anna increased. The landlord, Mr. Morgan, learned of the incident at the hospital and saw an opportunity. He renewed his pressure on Anna, offering financial help in exchange for favors. Desperate but firm in her integrity, Anna refused once again, knowing giving in would only bring more problems. At the end of the day, Anna and Ethan returned home exhausted but with a renewed sense of purpose. Anna was more determined than ever to face the challenges that arose, protecting herself and her son from the manipulations and harassment surrounding them. And so, the fight to uncover the truth and seek a better life continued, full of uncertainties and dangers. The investigation into Mr. Phillips' supposed illness continued, and the tension at the hospital only increased. Anna felt relieved to have revealed the truth but knew her position was in jeopardy. Ethan, an attentive observer, continued to notice things adults didn't, making him a key element in the unfolding plot. Meanwhile, Mr. Phillips' wife grew increasingly convinced something was wrong. She hired an independent doctor to examine her husband and determine the truth of his illness. Mr. Phillips, realizing his charade was about to be exposed, began to grow nervous, making mistakes that only heightened the suspicions around him. Amid this chaos, Anna found the strength to keep going. She knew she had to keep working to support Ethan while protecting her son from the consequences of their actions. Financial difficulties persisted, and Mr. Morgan's pressure didn't relent. One day, while cleaning one of the hospital's corridors, Ethan approached, bringing with him an old photo album he had found in a storage room. The photos depicted various patients and hospital events, dated many years back. Among them, Ethan found a picture of Mr. Phillips standing healthy and smiling beside a woman who was not his wife. "Mom, look at this," Ethan said, pointing to the photo. "He doesn't look sick here. And who is this woman?" Anna took the photo and examined it closely. The date on the photo showed it was taken shortly before Mr. Phillips was admitted to the hospital. The discovery raised new questions about the true nature of his illness. Anna decided this information needed to be brought to Mr. Phillips' wife's attention. That night, after putting Ethan to bed, Anna made a copy of the photo and wrote an anonymous letter explaining her findings. The next morning, she left the envelope in the office of Mr. Phillips' wife, hoping it would help speed up the investigation. While waiting for updates, Anna continued to deal with her daily challenges. Mr. Morgan, realizing his attempts to seduce Anna were failing, decided to use more aggressive tactics. He began threatening to evict her if she didn't accept his proposals, leaving Anna in a desperate situation. One afternoon, while Anna and Ethan were at the hospital, Mr. Phillips' wife appeared in the corridor, holding the photo Anna had sent. With tears in her eyes, she thanked Anna for her courage in bringing the truth to light. The independent investigation confirmed Mr. Phillips was faking his illness, and he would be prosecuted for fraud. The news brought a mix of relief and apprehension for Anna. Though Mr. Phillips was about to face justice, she knew her actions could have consequences for her and Ethan. However, the gratitude of Mr. Phillips' wife renewed her hope that they were on the right path. That same night, returning home, Anna found an eviction notice on the apartment door. Mr. Morgan was finally making good on his threats. Desperate, Anna knew she needed to find a solution quickly. She called several friends and colleagues, looking for a temporary place to stay with Ethan. Meanwhile, the situation at the hospital continued to evolve. The revelation about Mr. Phillips caused a great stir, and Anna became something of a heroine among the staff. Even so, her personal situation remained critical. Then, a coworker, Sarah, offered to help. Sarah, also a single mother, had a small spare room in her house and offered it to Anna and Ethan until they found a permanent solution. With Sarah's help, Anna found some stability but knew she couldn't rely on others' generosity forever. She decided to look for a new job with better conditions. One cold autumn morning, while browsing the classifieds, Anna found an ad for a cleaning company looking for cleaners. The company owner, Rebecca, was known for her compassion and support for single mothers. Determined, Anna went to the interview and shared her story with Rebecca, including the challenges she faced with Ethan and Mr. Morgan. Rebecca, moved by Anna's courage and determination, offered her the job. She also promised to help Anna find a new apartment far from Mr. Morgan's threats. At that moment, Anna felt a wave of relief and gratitude. She knew there were still many challenges ahead, but for the first time in a long time, she felt things could get better. Ethan, meanwhile, continued curious and determined to help his mother in any way possible. Thus, renewed hope and Ethan's curiosity kept Anna motivated while the truth about Mr. Phillips began to unfold. Anna and Ethan's story was just beginning, with new twists and challenges ahead, but with the certainty that together, they could overcome any obstacle. His life finally seemed to be taking a more promising turn. With the new job at Rebecca's cleaning company, she felt a stability she hadn't experienced in years. Rebecca proved not only to be an understanding boss but also a supportive friend, offering advice and help in times of need. However, Mr. Morgan's shadow still loomed over Anna. He hadn't given up his attempts at harassment, occasionally showing up at the hospital to pressure her. Anna, now more confident and determined, rejected his advances firmly, but knew she needed a definitive solution to this problem. Meanwhile, Ethan continued to surprise everyone around him with his perceptiveness and determination. During one of his visits to the hospital, he made a new discovery that would change everyone's lives forever. While exploring the hospital, Ethan found an old diary that seemed to belong to a former patient. Curious, he began to flip through it and found notes about a car accident that happened years ago. Ethan took the diary to his mother, and together they began to read it more attentively. The notes mentioned a woman who had lost her family in a tragic accident and had been mistakenly declared dead. The story seemed strangely familiar to Anna, who remembered hearing about a similar accident involving her own family many years before. Anna decided to investigate further and, with Rebecca's help, accessed the hospital's old records. To her surprise, she discovered that the woman mentioned in the diary was, in fact, her biological sister, Claire, whom she thought had died in the accident. The emotions overwhelmed Anna: surprise, relief, gratitude, as she realized her sister was alive. Rebecca, moved by Anna's story, decided to help in any way possible. She contacted the hospital staff to locate Claire, who now worked as a therapist at a rehabilitation clinic. The reunion between Anna and Claire was emotional. The two sisters embraced, crying with joy and relief, while Ethan watched with a smile of satisfaction on his face. With Claire's help, Anna began to rebuild her life with a new perspective. Claire became an important figure in Anna and Ethan's lives, offering emotional support and practical help. Together, the sisters decided to confront Mr. Morgan once and for all. Claire, with her experience as a therapist, advised Anna to seek legal help to deal with Mr. Morgan's harassment. With the support of Rebecca and other co-workers, Anna gathered enough evidence to take the case to court. Mr. Morgan was prosecuted for harassment and coercion and finally had to face the consequences of his actions. Meanwhile, Claire's ex-husband, who had been distant after the accident, reappeared in the sisters' lives. He was a renowned lawyer and offered his services to help with the case against Mr. Morgan. With his help, Anna and Claire not only secured legal protection but also financial compensation that allowed them to find a new apartment away from Mr. Morgan's threats. Anna's gratitude for all the people who helped her was immense. She felt a deep love for her son, Ethan, whose curiosity and determination had uncovered secrets that changed their lives for the better. The relationship between Anna and Rebecca also strengthened, with both becoming great friends and supporting each other in their journeys. In the new house, Anna and Ethan found an abandoned dog on the street and decided to adopt him. Naming him Max, Max quickly became a beloved family member, bringing joy and love into their lives. Max's original owner, a kind man named Michael, appeared months later, and seeing the affection Anna and Ethan had for the dog, decided to leave him with them. Michael became a close family friend, offering help and support whenever needed. Anna, now with her sister by her side and a solid support network, felt stronger and more confident. She knew there were still challenges ahead, but she was determined to face them with courage and hope. Ethan, in turn, continued to be a source of inspiration and strength for everyone around him, with his intelligence and generous heart. With Claire and Michael's help, Anna finally resolved the issue with Mr. Morgan. He was convicted and had to step away, ensuring Anna and Ethan's safety and peace. Life seemed to be getting back on track, and the new house they managed to secure with the financial compensation provided a safer and happier environment for both. Rebecca, the cleaning company owner, continued to be a pillar of support for Anna. She became a true friend, always willing to listen and help. However, Rebecca's life was about to change dramatically. One morning, Rebecca suffered a serious car accident that left her paralyzed. The news deeply shook Anna, who immediately rushed to the hospital to be by her friend's side. Rebecca, a strong and independent woman, now faced the challenge of adapting to a new reality. Anna and Claire decided they needed to do something to help Rebecca recover, not only physically but also emotionally. With Michael's support, they began visiting Rebecca regularly, bringing her small gifts and lots of affection. Ethan, always full of energy and empathy, also visited Rebecca, bringing joy with his stories and antics. During one of these visits, Rebecca confided in Anna about her fears and insecurities. She feared her physical condition would make her a burden to others and that she wouldn't be able to continue managing the cleaning company. Anna, holding Rebecca's hand, assured her they would always be by her side and that together, they would find a way to overcome the difficulties. Over time, and with the unconditional support of Anna, Claire, and Michael, Rebecca began to regain her will to live. She enrolled in rehabilitation programs and gradually started adapting to her new life. Rebecca's strength and determination inspired everyone around her, showing that even in the face of the toughest adversities, it's possible to find a new way to live. During this period, Anna also began to discover more about her own family. She and Claire spent hours talking about the past, sharing memories, and rebuilding the bonds that had been broken. It was during one of these conversations that they discovered a surprising truth. Rebecca was actually the biological sister they thought they had lost in the accident. The revelation came through a series of coincidences and small details that made them connect the dots. Rebecca, who had been adopted by another family after the accident, always felt something was missing in her life. When Anna and Claire began sharing their stories and memories, they realized there were many similarities and coinciding details. The discovery was emotional and overwhelming for all of them. Anna, Claire, and Rebecca hugged, crying with joy and relief. Life had given them a new opportunity to be together, and they were determined to make the most of this second chance. The gratitude and love between the sisters flourished, and with Michael and Ethan's help, they formed a new family. The cleaning company, now managed by the three sisters, thrived more than ever, with Rebecca supervising everything with the help of Anna and Claire. Challenges still existed, but now, with the strength of love and mutual support, they were ready to face them. Ethan continued to be the light in everyone's life, with his curiosity and kindness, always reminding everyone of the importance of staying united and strong. Anna, Claire, and Rebecca's lives had undergone an incredible transformation. The mutual support and rediscovery of family bonds brought new perspective and purpose to all of them. The cleaning company thrived under the collaborative management of the three sisters, and Ethan, always curious and full of energy, continued to be the joy of the house. One day, while the sisters were gathered in their new home, an unexpected piece of news arrived. Mr. Thompson, the man who had become a mentor and close friend, had decided to retire and wanted Anna to take over the management of his company. He saw in her a natural leader and believed that, with Claire and Rebecca's help, they could take the company to new heights. Emotional and grateful, Anna accepted the offer. This gave her professional life a significant boost, providing even greater financial stability for her family. Mr. Thompson's support was not just a gift, but also a recognition of the value and determination Anna had demonstrated throughout her journey. With the new responsibility, Anna, Claire, and Rebecca worked together to integrate Mr. Thompson's company with their own, creating a network of services that benefited the local community. Rebecca's management skills, Claire's therapeutic experience, and Anna's strategic vision made the new company flourish. Meanwhile, Ethan continued to thrive. His academic performance was excellent, and he got involved in various extracurricular activities, always supported by his family. The affection and dedication of the three sisters provided him with a safe and loving environment to grow and develop. One day, upon returning from school, Ethan brought news that left everyone at home surprised and emotional. He had won a scholarship for a summer program in science and technology, an opportunity he had longed for. The sisters, proud and happy, celebrated Ethan's achievement, seeing in him the promise of a bright future. That night, gathered around the dinner table, Anna, Claire, Rebecca, and Ethan reflected on everything they had been through. The difficulties and challenges they faced only strengthened their bonds and made them more resilient. The house was filled with laughter and lively conversations, a stark contrast to the dark days they once faced. Anna, looking at her family, felt a wave of contentment and peace. She knew that regardless of future challenges, they were ready to face them together. Claire, now fully integrated into the family, felt deep gratitude for having found her sisters and for being part of a life filled with love and purpose. Rebecca, still adapting to her new reality, was more optimistic than ever. Her determination and strength inspired everyone around her, and she knew that with her family's support, she could overcome any obstacle. Mr. Thompson, now retired, continued to visit the family frequently, enjoying everyone's company and affection. He had become a father figure to the sisters and a loving grandfather to Ethan, always offering valuable wisdom and advice. In the following months, the company prospered and expanded, bringing new jobs and opportunities to the community. Anna, Claire, and Rebecca became respected and beloved figures, known for their generosity and collaborative spirit. At the end of the summer, Ethan left for the science and technology program, eager to learn and grow. The sisters accompanied him to the airport, emotional and proud. As they said their goodbyes, Ethan promised to return with many stories and new knowledge to share. Returning home, Anna, Claire, and Rebecca felt a sense of accomplishment and hope. The journey they began years ago, marked by pain and uncertainty, had transformed into a story of overcoming and love. Together, They built a life full of possibilities and were ready for any adventure the future held. Months later, on a sunny autumn afternoon, Anna, Claire, Rebecca, and Mr. Thompson were gathered in the garden of their new home. Ethan ran across the lawn with Max, the dog they adopted, laughing and playing. The air was filled with laughter and the fragrance of flowers. Anna looked around, absorbing the moment. She remembered all the difficulties they faced, but also the achievements and joys they shared. She felt deep gratitude for everything and everyone who helped them along the way. She smiled, knowing they were ready for whatever the future held. With love, determination, and unconditional family support, Anna knew they could overcome any challenge. And so, with hearts full of hope and happiness, they looked to the future, eager for the new adventures life had in store.